In this episode, we're going to unpack how you can avoid multiple design revisions in any project. So if you picture, you've already gone through the process of creating some concepts, the concept's been selected and the content's coming in, but the problem is you're now in a revision 20. It's not good for your business, it erodes the profitability, it's terrible for client relationships, they're going to be frustrated, etc. And you may have also been missing deadlines. So how can you avoid this? We're going to give you 5 pieces of advice that we've gleaned over the years that have really helped us avoid that revision 99, and we have seen a revision 99. So rest easy. It's a tough life out there. Okay, the first thing is that you want to establish who the design is for. And I don't mean the people within your client's business. It's not for them just because they like particular colors, etc. That has nothing to do with it. It's actually who is going to be consuming that content. So if it's a website, who's going to be looking at that website? What is that person like? What are their interests? And what's going to prompt them to act upon the information that's on that website? Same with a poster. What's going to prompt them to give that desired reaction to that poster? So remember, it's always about the person who's going to be consuming the content, which then essentially breaks out anything that you might like and anything that your client might like, because everybody is thinking about that person or that group of people who are going to be consuming the content. Second thing you want to do is confirm the stakeholders within the business. So this means you need to find out who are the 2 to 3 and maximum people who are going to be in control of looking at the content that you provide, the designs, giving feedback, and also signing those off. And if you can whittle that down to just one person, that is beautiful, because that means that one person is going to be receiving all of the feedback from around the business, collating that into one piece of information. They're going to take out the bits that they don't agree with, etc., and then they're going to give you everything in one fell swoop. And that is a brilliant place to be. So you've heard of that phrase, haven't you? Too many cooks spoil the broth. Well, you definitely don't want lots and lots of people giving you the benefit of their expertise and advice and just making a project drag and drag and drag. Next thing you'll want to do is set the ground rules. And there's a whole area here in its own right, and we'll probably do some extra content on this, but a few things to set the ground rules for would be making sure that the content is all signed off. You don't want copy that is spelt incorrectly or is going to change, because if somebody's going to change a paragraph of 50 words to 100 words halfway through the project, that is going to really badly impact the page. We've all seen it happen. 50 words, 100 words, now we've got to try and squeeze everything. We've got line height, leading, everything we've got to think about. It's not a great situation to be. So that's one of them. Also, just the expectations as to how long things are going to turn around. Another one of those ground rules is making sure that you're only receiving the feedback from that 1 or 2 key stakeholders, not everybody from around the business, etc. Another one as well might be setting the expectations with regards to how quickly you will be turning around a revision cycle based on when it was received. So you'll remember this, I'm sure, where somebody's given you hours and hours of revisions and expected it within an hour or expected it that following morning. So things like that, setting those expectations, setting up all of those ground rules are really important to help a project go smoothly and to avoid, again, that stress and things going out of control. Okay, next piece of advice is don't do it straight away. When you receive a whole load of revisions, don't jump on them straight away. And again, this is what you'll have established as part of the ground rules, but doing it straight away means that in the meantime, the person who gave you all of that feedback may have had second thoughts. What we've found is giving it 24 to 48 hours before we start on a whole load of revisions gives our client and their team some extra time to think about what they've handed over to us and to make sure that they're really happy with that, because when they've slept on something, sometimes a different idea comes into mind or they actually change their mind on something. So it's always good just to give it some extra time to make sure that that revision cycle is definitely the revision cycle that you're going to be working on. And then lastly, remember, challenge. You can challenge your client. And what I mean by this is if you receive some design amends, some revisions, etc., and there is something in there that you don't agree with, then you are the expert. They are paying you to be the expert, and you can challenge specific items, obviously with good reason, in their feedback. And they may take your advice. That may come out of the revision cycle because you are the expert and you know your craft. So guys, how do you avoid multiple revisions in a design project? Why don't you share them below, or head on over to the Facebook group on angledcrown.com/group. That'll redirect you and you can join over 480, I think at the moment, other design agencies, designers and freelancers who are all discussing what goes on in their life in the agency, but also we share cat pictures and other stupid stuff as well. So we'll see you over there on angledcrown.com/group. Have a great day and keep innovating.